Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different. A couple months ago I did a video on how fancy hair almost failed and I got such positive feedback from you guys and you wanted me to do more of these business related videos, so I thought that I would try to incorporate them on my channel a little bit more. I personally really enjoy making these videos because I'm talking about another thing that I'm truly passionate about, and hopefully I can inspire and help some of you guys who may be going through similar struggles. I'm a believer in full transparency and I am not ashamed of my failures or struggles whatsoever. That's what makes me human. So if I can inspire one person with my story, then I will have accomplished my goal. So without further ado, if you want to know what my 6 biggest mistakes were with fancy hair, then please keep watching. The first mistake that I made was not switching to a fulfillment center. So for those of you who don't know, a fulfillment center is basically a huge warehouse. It's a shipping facility that basically stores your inventory, manages your inventory, and also ships your inventory to your customers. They fulfill every single order one by one. So all of the information gets sent from my website to my fulfillment center. They fulfill the order and ship it out to the customer. So for the first several months after I launched Fancy Hair Extensions, I was fulfilling every single order on my own, even when sales were blowing up. And I did this because I was absolutely terrified. I was terrified that maybe this was just a fluke or it was a temporary wave. So basically, out of pure fear, I continued to be a one-woman show at Fancy Hair for the first several months. The last thing I wanted to do was expand my business when in my mind, I wasn't 100% ready for it. The problem was because I was doing everything in the beginning, I could not take any time off. Vacations were completely out of the question and I was feeling extremely overwhelmed and overworked. It got to a point where I felt like I had no choice but to get help. And luckily, after much research, I found an incredible fulfillment center in Toronto, where I'm from, that took amazing care of every single order just like I would. And that was a huge relief for me and felt like a huge weight has been lifted off of my shoulders because I no longer had to worry and I can focus on continuing to grow my startup. The second mistake that I made was shipping all of my orders from Canada while still offering free shipping on all orders. As much as I love my team at my Canadian fulfillment center, once orders started expanding beyond the border and internationally, customers would have to wait too long to receive their order, and shipping outside of Canada was getting to be really expensive for us. So that's when I decided that we needed to add a US fulfillment center that would be able to ship the orders at a much lower cost and much faster. So this meant that the Canadian fulfillment center would just focus on shipping out the orders to all of our Canadian customers, and that way our Canadian customers could enjoy free and fast shipping without any import duties or taxes. And then the US fulfillment center could focus on shipping out all of the orders for our US customers and internationally, also for free and super fast. These shipping costs had to be within a certain bracket because it was really important for me, for my customers to be able to order their hair extensions and not have to worry about paying any additional costs for shipping fees. And because of this, I'm so proud to say that Fancy Hair can offer free and fast shipping worldwide. The third mistake that I made was not getting a third-party inspection company to inspect all of my orders coming in from my factory and doing them myself. Yes. For the first several months since I launched Fancy Hair, I would be inspecting every single set of hair extensions that was imported from my factory by myself. I would go through each set and I created a list of tests and steps that I would go through to check for any defects or imperfections for all the sets, and anything that didn't pass, all of my tests would be sent back to my factory. So I would essentially have every single hair extension order come from my factory to my little apartment in Toronto, literally taking up all of the space in our living room. And I would go through every single set and every single weft within that set and do a very, very thorough inspection. And the sets that cleared my inspection, those were the sets that I would then send over to my fulfillment centers. I would literally sit and inspect hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of sets all by myself. And sometimes this would take days, weeks, and I'm sure, as you can imagine, it was so exhausting and totally not a feasible thing to do for one person. But the thing you need to understand about me is that I am a perfectionist with anything that I put out into this universe. I legitimately feel like every set of fancy hair extensions is like my baby. I designed them, I perfected them, I took them from an idea on a piece of paper to something that is now a physical thing. I knew every single detail about these hair extensions and I just wanted them to be perfect. I didn't trust anyone to pay that much attention to my babies as much as I would. But because my business was continuing to grow, it was just no longer physically possible for me to continue to do the inspections on my own. So I did a lot of research and I looked into working with a company that specializes in doing huge inspections on companies such as mine. And after testing out a bunch of them, I finally found one that I was extremely happy with. I felt like their attention to detail was so on point and so aligned with my perfectionism that it was just a perfect match. So we worked together to perfect my inspection plan and all of the tests and all of the steps and processes that I would basically put every single set through to make sure that there were no defects and they were up to my standards. And now every single set of fancy hair extensions goes through a very, very thorough and vigorous inspection process. The quality is thoroughly inspected by a team of experts before it ever comes into the hands of a customer. The fourth mistake that I made was not having a swatch program. Now, I know just as well as anyone how difficult it can be to buy something online through a computer screen, let alone buying hair extensions. Before I implemented the swatch program, I would have so many customers worry and not be confident about their color selection. There would be a lot of returns and exchanges because of this. And I really wanted to give my customers a peace of mind and make selecting their perfect color a smooth and seamless process. So that's why I came up with the swatches and the swatch program. So basically how it works is a customer would go on our website and they would select which swatches they would like to receive to use as a color comparison against their natural hair to decide what kind of color best matches their hair color. So because my collection has 12 shades, there's a total of 12 different color swatches that you can choose from. And the program allows you to get up to 4 of the swatches for free. So each swatch costs $3. So the way that it works is you can add up to 4 swatches to your cart for a total of $12. And once you check out and place your order, you're going to receive an email with a gift card code in the same amount that you paid for your swatches, up to 4 swatches. So if you purchase 4 swatches, you're going to get a gift card code in the amount of $12. This gift card code can be used towards a full set of fancy hair extensions. You would enter your gift card code at checkout and it would deduct $12 from your total, which essentially means you are getting your swatches for free. Obviously, there are other ways that my customer service team can assist customers with color matching, but the swatch program is the most accurate because you actually get to see the colors in real life right next to your own hair. So this is what our swatches look like. They come individually packaged in these little poly bags. So what you would do is you would take the swatches out of the little poly bags and you would bring it up against your natural hair to see if it matches your ends. Because the ends of your hair are the only part of your hair that needs to blend with the hair extensions, you don't need to use a swatch against your roots or anywhere else along your hair only the ends. If you see that it is a good match, then that would be your ideal shade. So they're super easy to use, they're foolproof, and this way we can guarantee that customers get the closest color match possible. This was a complete game changer because now customers are no longer worried about selecting a color that is not going to match their hair. And it also helped out my customer service team a lot because they have to deal with a lot less exchanges. The fifth mistake that I made was not having a budget earlier in my business for professional photos. It doesn't matter how amazing your product is, you're not representing them in the best light possible. Who cares? So because I was trying to run a lean startup in the very beginning, I didn't make a budget for professional photos and I was using stock images from the internet to kind of represent the colors that I carried as best as I possibly could. Sometimes I would Photoshop some of the images just so that the color would represent the colors that I carried as accurately as I possibly could. But of course, it's very, very difficult to do that. At the end of the day, they were just not cutting it. And I just wanted customers to truly see what my product looked like. So as soon as I was able, I invested in hiring professional models, a full crew of hair and makeup, a professional photographer. That way we can take high quality professional photos and showcase my hair extensions in the best way possible. The sixth and final mistake that I made was pricing my hair extensions too low. The problem was that I was so focused on the quality of the product that I didn't pay enough attention to the margins. When I was first pricing my hair extensions, obviously I wanted my hair extensions to be an amazing value. I wanted them to be competitive prices, but I never took into consideration the amount of time and work and thought that I would be putting into the quality. I didn't want to just slap on a price and a name onto my product. I wanted my product to be the best of the best. And in order to be the best of the best, you need to invest more money. This is honestly a problem that I still struggle with today, to find that happy medium between an amazing quality product and a very good price point. The idea to raise prices pains me so badly because I have so many existing loyal customers that have bought so many sets of fancy hair extensions, and they know that over the years, the quality just keeps getting better and better and better. So for me as a businesswoman, it would make total sense to gradually increase the price to kind of match the quality of the hair extensions. But my main focus is and always has been the quality of fancy hair extensions. And regardless, I'm going to continue to do what I need to do to keep the quality at the high standards that I believe in. I truly believe that this attention to detail is what makes fancy hair extensions different from any other brand. And thankfully, it's something that my customers understand and appreciate too. Okay, my love, so that's all I have for today's video. I really hope that this video was inspiring to some of you. If you would like to see more videos like this one, please let me know in the comments below. I would be more than happy to share more stories with you guys. I want to thank you again for tuning in and hanging out with me. Until my next video, I will see you in my next one.